Chris Yandex, CY interview covering Las Vegas and the world. Today we welcome back comedian Michele Traina. She's back here with us to talk about her special Divorce Diaries, which is currently on Amazon Prime Video. Michele can be seen in various comedy venues across the United States of America, and it's performed here in Las Vegas. Michele, thanks so much for joining us again today on CY Interview. How are you?
I am so excited to be back, Chris. I'm like fixing my hair because I just hopped out of the shower in true Divorce Diaries fashion. I'm always running late. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about what's going on with the show.
Yeah, well, so here's what I'm going to ask you. Why don't you tell me about your there's a couple of them, but tell me about your new comedy special, Divorce Diaries, which people can see now on Amazon Prime Video, which is really, I believe, a fiction, nonfiction story of your life, correct?
Yes. So there's two parts of Divorce Diaries. There is the touring comedy show. That's me talking about my life, kind of like Seinfeld, where Seinfeld does his bits. And there's also the television show. That's what I have. So if you go onto Prime Video, and you can see now my live comedy special, Michele Traina Divorce Diaries. And you could also see the pilot, the TV pilot, Divorce Diaries, which is like a mockumentary. And it's about the characters that I talk about in my material. And it's been a vision of mine since I started the inception of the show, where it would be a TV show. And I've been a performer since I was a kid. So this is kind of like the next part of my journey in getting a television show, and hoping that, when the right person comes along to open that door, it's a full season.
I think it definitely can be a full season. So just to begin, your special really captures how hard it is to find balance as a single mother. You have a job as an educator, you have a daughter, obviously, you're trying to build a comedy career, you're trying to find love. Tell me about what that's like.
Well, I'm living and breathing it all the time. And I think a lot of, not only just parents in general, are always living and breathing, juggling a lot of things. And as a single parent, especially one who's trying to really make her career goals as an entertainer, it is very difficult, because you got to juggle your schedule. In the comedy world, they require to be at the clubs, they require to be available on the weeknights. And in the single mom world, you are the only available person to be available at night on the weeknight. So juggling it is hard. And in the show, I was a theater teacher at a school district for years, and I was juggling all of it. And it was almost like the stuff I would experience in the classroom with my students and with the administrators was fuel for being on stage. And also it reflected a lot of stuff that I had to work on for myself: self-love, confidence, sticking up for the underdog.
I can understand that. So why don't you tell me, the reality of what it comes down to is that, this special is kind of based on your life. So, I think the most important thing people can realize is that, when you have real responsibilities, but you still want to have dreams, that really the most important thing is to not be a quitter and have a can-do attitude. You absolutely have a can-do attitude. I've seen you in action. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the can-do attitude is the better of the two routes than I can't, because when you say I can't do something, you're already limiting yourself. I took dance classes from the time I was 7 years old till adult, and I always wanted to perform. And when I decided to go into it as a career, I knew it's not an easy road, because you're constantly dealing with a lot of rejection, and you have to battle your own insecurities to continue putting yourself in the game. But I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So I said to myself, there's other opportunities for you to make money as a performer. You can teach theater and be a performer in the classroom with your students, which I have a whole nother love for, because kids and adults learn, grow, and heal through the arts, role play, music, movement. I mean, it's how most of us manipulate our life and feel good about ourselves, right? So, and then when I decided to kind of take things into my own hand and create performance opportunities for myself, that I can attitude was like, see, I can do it. I don't have to just be auditioning. I can create other opportunities where I am booking myself in spaces. And also comedy specifically was a way that I get through my anxiety. So on a day-to-day basis, when I'm having anxiety and I can go to a stand-up room or I can perform, I'm also not only part of my job, but it's helping me as a person. So the I can attitude stems from this is how I move through the universe, and I wouldn't want to choose another path.
Tell me about the important work you do with kids.
So I started teaching theater when I was in my mid 20s, and when I realized how theater can really help kids learn, grow, and heal is what got me excited about the power that I could have in helping kids, because that helping people actually serves a bigger purpose, I think, in the universe. And when you can make somebody feel good about themselves, it takes on a whole nother light. So when I had my daughter, I was 30, and I had her, she was a healthy baby. And then a year after, she wasn't talking. And I had started a theater company for children, and I was performing, and she wasn't talking. I brought her to a developmental therapist, and she had a whole bunch of tests. She had to go through early intervention services and get special services to get to the place where she needed to be. So I decided to make my theater company dedicated for very young audiences, specifically for children with or without special needs. So if parents who had a child who might be on the spectrum, or who has a physical disability or a learning disability, this is the place I wanted them to come to feel like, my kid feels welcomed and excited. So that's some of the work I've done. I've also taught theater to grade and dance to grades pre-K through adult. I teach at a college. I'm a clinical assistant professor in educational theater, helping other teachers teach theater at Delphi University. And it's a program I helped start back in 2011. And my whole thing is if you can use theater, movement, comedy, all that stuff to help children build social emotional learning skills, a lot's going to shift in society, right? So that's a little bit of it.
They need it more than ever today. There's no denying that with what's going on in the world today. There's just no denying that. And I think I applaud you for the good work that you do.
Thank you.
Away from the comedy scene. So what is inspiring you comedically today? Like when you're up there doing all your stand-up around the United States of America, like what's inspiring you right now?
I think things that inspire me are when I see people pushing through obstacles, and maybe like myself, maybe that they're bigger names, maybe people who aren't comedians that are have a positive attitude. That's what inspires me. I think when I see a journey of somebody who has worked hard and who has overcame obstacles, that gives me a feeling like, oh, I'm not going to do it alone. Especially like there's a comedian, Leanne Morgan. She's different than me, but she's in her, I think she's a little older, and she's really hitting success, where I always get nervous because I'm older. Is it going to not happen because I'm not 20 something in the stand-up scene? And those kinds of things make me feel stronger and better, because everyone's path is different. So it's not one particular thing. It's just kind of finding motivating stories that keep pushing my attitude along,
So tell me about what the Divorce Diaries concept is, how it came about, and of course, why people should go check out both your comedic special and the, I like to call it, fiction, nonfiction program that are both on Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah, the mockument. So Divorce Diaries as a whole is about self-love, right? It's about, I want to find the love of my life, when in reality is I have to really figure out what loving myself is, because I keep making the same mistake in the storyline of falling for the wrong men who are not giving me what I need, and then they distracting me from my career. Michele, the character, is like the coyote chasing the roadrunner. And she just keeps falling off the cliff or getting hit with an anvil. And I think everybody can relate to the hopeful, romantic inside them, both for their career and their personal life. But I tend, in the storyline, reaction drives a lot of, and emotions drive a lot of the character's movement. And you'll see in the pilot, she makes some choices that are comical, but a little out there. So if you like if you like The Office and you like Real Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, those are kind of the worlds that we're living in with Divorce Diaries, like reality meets mockumentary.
Yeah, that's what I basically took away from it. So, you performed here in Las Vegas on a couple of occasions. What was it like performing here? What are your memories of being here? And hopefully we'll see you again here in the future.
I love performing in Las Vegas. I performed at the Space twice with Divorce Diaries. It's a great venue, and I hope to be back again. I've performed in other stand-up shows. Um, it's a thrill. I mean, it's Las Vegas. There's lights, cameras. The craft is heavy at play here. And it's bawdy. Like, I mean, I love a little, like, it's naughty and bawdy and fun, but the craft element of being a really strong performer doesn't die in Vegas. And that's what I love about Las Vegas. You can be yourself and people embrace that. That's what I love about Vegas.
Yeah, the reality of what it comes down to, what I take away from living here for 7 years and being in the thick of the entertainment and media scene here every day, and just people watching, because I live right near the Las Vegas Strip, is people just come here, they put their politics aside the way that it should be, and they enjoy the best things that the town has to offer. And there's so much entertainment here every single night. And hopefully we'll get to see you back here again. Michele Traina, thank you again for joining us. Tell us one more time about what's on Amazon Prime Video.
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me. You are amazing. I can tell you right now, you can go to Amazon Prime Video. You put in Divorce Diaries. You'll see 2 videos that will pop up. Both have my face on it. One is with my daughter. That's the TV pilot, the 26-minute one. And then the hour one is my comedy special. That's the live version.
Absolutely. Comedian Michele Traina, thank you so much again for joining us in CY Interview today.
Thanks for having me, Chris.